Hi everybody! I'm doing a session for a client, so I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right, thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you today, and thank you so much for your open-mindedness to share here with us on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and read your goals, and then I'm going to get started. All right, so you say, I have a lot weighing down on my heart. I have concerns about financial stability and family. I could use some comforting words and healing. I'm okay with whatever you're called to share. Okay. So the question is, you have things weighing down on your heart. Emotions, concerns. Is it okay for your heart to feel bright? Would you allow your heart to feel bright? Or is it safer for your heart to feel heavy? That's the first thing that instantly I get to thinking about. I know what it's like. I think we all know what it's like we have reasons for worry and concern, right? We're human. But if you were to ask yourself, do I have reasons to let that go and just let my heart be bright? Oftentimes, easier said than done, right? Okay, I'm going to relax and get tuned in here. Thank you again so much. I cannot wait to see what we discover today. All right, here we go. All right. I see it's kind of like you're a piece of wood, and then an axe just comes down onto this log of yourself and it just splits it in half. But it doesn't go all the way through. It doesn't create two separate pieces. It just has a big old crack right down the center of it, okay? It's almost like this axe is hitting you on the head and then splitting you down, okay? And it's just splitting you down, but it doesn't separate you into two pieces like your right and left sides. It's just a big old crack there. And it's like an earthquake just hit you, and it's just shaking, and you're the earth kind of splitting into two parts, like a canyon is creating itself here. It's like you're trying to be like the Great Canyon. But really what we need is to bring the two sides together and help you to feel whole again, okay? Because as you split, it feels better to just keep separating from yourself. Literally just continue to create that gap. It feels safer for some reason when really you need to come back together again, okay? You definitely have reasons to feel heavy-hearted. Because I feel like my heart's becoming a teapot, but it's not, the water isn't boiling, like there's no anger here, but things are heating up and the pressure is great and there's nowhere for the pressure to go. And in a way, that's what's causing this crack. That's what's causing this. And so we need to release the pressure in your heart. You're really heavy-hearted again is the experience, and it feels like devastation. Feels like devastation. It's like the bomb is dropped on Hiroshima and everything is just a devastated place. It's just a place of devastation, you know? And so I feel like an extreme event and then a sensation of devastation. And it's like, how will we ever rehabilitate this? How will this ever heal? Or how will this ever mend? How will things come back to life again? And it's just sort of working with the aftermath or the devastation of the event. And they're showing me you are looking at the scenes of what is not alive, but what is dead, and trying to figure out how to plant seeds or how this will ever heal. And it feels impossible. And it's weighing so heavily on you. It's hard to choose to shift into like a solutions generated state of mind. It feels like we're still at the funeral, you know, we're still at the saddest part of what we're looking at. And it's hard to let go of that and just shift into what is, all right, time to rebuild. All right, what are my thoughts and ideas? What can I start to generate new energies here? So instead of really getting attached to the devastation, disconnecting from the devastation and seeing it as opportunity. You know what I mean? Opportunity. It's not easy for me to convince your heart. It's not easy to convince this energy that we can look at this as opportunity. It's not easy. It's almost like you need more time, but let's just see what comes next, okay? I see you are walking out of a house that got set on fire, and you're a burn victim. You've been burned, okay? I don't know if what this represents is something has happened that you were the one that got burned in this situation. You got screwed over. The devastation was on you. Because this burn, it's not like, what it represents to me vibrationally is you got yourself out of that fire, but you got yourself out with yourself is burned. Yourself is burned. So you're carrying the burn with you. You're carrying the memory with you. And this is going to take time to heal this. It's a lot to heal, but it also feels like you were the one that got not the good end of the stick, right? You got the short straw, okay? It's in your skin. I mean, it's in your very skin. We need to look at this. I mean, we need to stand here and look at this. The house is black everywhere. It's not fallen apart though, but it's like the house, the skin of the house, interior, exterior is burned, all right? Everything is black. You are black. You're like a burnt hot dog. Like, you guys know what burnt hot dogs look like. They're like the charred black thing, okay? You're a charred black burnt body, okay? And you're still fleshy. I mean, it didn't really burn your insides. It just burned the outside of your flesh. But it's a reminder. It's, you live with it, okay? And we're going to stand here. We're going to feel this because I feel the pressure still in your heart. I feel the devastation. I feel the crack that still wants to separate from itself. Oh, now the next thing that happens is you have a gun and you're making sure it's full of bullets and it's ready to go, and you are aiming the gun at that house and you say, "I will kill you." And it seems like there are people in this house that have really harmed you, that have really offended you, that really taken something of your soul. And that needs to be reconciled. That needs to be rectified. Like you are taking matters into your own hands, and through the gun, you will show them how they have harmed you. You then will harm them the way they have harmed you. That's the next experience, okay? we're going to follow through with this one because there is such a knot going on here that the only way to really unravel that knot is to do some processes, okay? We're going to follow through. You're going to shoot who's ever in here in the head, and we're going to shoot them all dead, okay? Because we're going to follow through with the vision, all right? Nobody's going to get hurt here, but your emotions will at least vent and release, and we'll start to loosen up that knot, all right? You turn it from a handheld gun to like a giant, I don't know, probably something more from a video game than real life, and it's got thousands of bullets, and you just start shooting every window and every part, and you want these bullets to go through every wall as though this house is actually a person. The house is a person, and then there's people inside the house, and you're angry at it all. You're really hurt by all of it, and you're just shooting everything, all right? It's just gunning all over the place. And I hear the sound of broken glass and shattered, just stuff shattering. And you scream, "How could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? How could you do this to me?" And then I see you take the handheld gun and shoot yourself in the head, and you fall to the ground. And then you come back to life and you do it again. And then you do it again. And then you do it again. And then you go back to shooting this house over and over. You do this sort of cycle because you have so much unresolved. Have you had a conversation? I mean, if we're talking about people that have hurt you, have you talked to them? It feels like there may be something missing here, which could potentially just be a conversation. Maybe it would feel like I cannot have that conversation. Does it feel like you need to have a conversation? Maybe you feel like you cannot have that conversation. Let's see what you say, okay? You just start screaming, okay? I mean, it's blood-curdling scream from your heart. And you say, it's like, no matter what I say, I won't be heard anyway, is kind of what the experience is. When I scream, when I cry, when I say, look at what you've done to me, when I am burned and trying to walk away and I can't ever walk away, I am attached to this house and what it represents. I'm attached to this. It doesn't ever acknowledge me. It doesn't ever acknowledge me. And you're in serious pain because of that, because you're not acknowledged. Man, it's disorienting. Really moves energy around your head, and I will say it's the most quiet, most silent. I don't feel the pressure. I don't feel the burned victim. I don't feel... You're the victim. You're the victim. You tremble and you fall to the ground, and for some reason there's like this opening happen right at your solar plexus, and there starts to drain out a liquid, okay? And it's like a bloody pulp liquid is starting to drain straight out of your solar plexus. And you're trying to collect your breath. You're trying to calm down, and you say, I have no solutions. It's almost like I have no solutions, but why do I have to be the one that has to find them? Like, why can't I be helped? Why can't I be helped? I feel like it's important to identify a specific detail that has shifted. Initially, you were a male representation of yourself. And now as you crumple to the ground and then the solar plexus opens up and this liquid is releasing, you are a female representation of yourself, and you are not burned, and you are naked, okay? And you're just sitting on the ground. And you say something like, who will love me? Who will love me? And what that means to me is you aren't receiving acknowledgement for what your suffering is, which means you are not loved. And for you to be acknowledged, your pain to be acknowledged, is what you feel will mend this. When your pain is acknowledged, this will mend this. And when your pain is not acknowledged, you are not loved. So you are in devastation. You are in devastation. Is your situation in devastation, or are you in devastation? You say, I want this gun. I want this gun. And you take the gun and you hold it close to your heart as though it's the only thing in the world that cares about you. And it's legit. We're going to go into this experience, okay? We're going to say that the gun is the only thing that cares about you, okay? We're just going to go there, okay? The gun now has a personality, consciousness, is there for you. We're going to feel a bond, like this is your soulmate, all right? And for some reason, as you now experience the gun legitimately as a soulmate, starting to realize that what you said there wasn't true. And now you're setting the gun down and saying what this represents is what is going to take the pain away. And love then would take the pain away. But there's no one that loves me. It's literally what's coming out. Oh man. Makes me so sad. So I just hug you. And I tell you I'm sorry. I'm sorry about what you're going through. It makes sense. What this is weighing on your heart, it makes sense. Maybe financial burdens are in a way easier to deal with than what this is emotionally about. Maybe that's more practical life worries are maybe easier than this emotional struggle. I will say, you being gifted the opportunity to vent in a safe way and to feel nurtured in the process and to go through this exploration with the gun and love is actually releasing a lot of pressure, okay? Wow, I'm really proud of you. I'm just gonna help you stand up, and I'm gonna take you to a place where you're surrounded by your ancestors and your guides and your angels and your higher self and animal spirits and nature spirits, and where you can feel like you are loved. And just this space, you're surrounded by love here. Love that isn't a gun. Love that is actually thriving energy. And I see it's literally the consciousness of water that is actually, I feel lots of souls, but I actually see the consciousness of water as like a God figure, but it is like a being of pure love, and it's flowing in and it's wrapping itself around you. And it says like, let me hold you, and I will carry your tears, is what it says. And it says it's okay to cry. My gosh. All right. Man, thank you for that. And thank you for the vulnerability. Thank you for sharing here. This will release pressure. All right. It already is. This is already mending you. This will give you some inner strength and a new sense of balance and clarity in your mind, okay, about your situation. All right, thank you. And thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you all have a beautiful day.